Hey everybody, I'm Philip,
And I'm Justin.
and together we are Pajamas. And this is an update video for everyone. Typically, I do Patreon exclusive weekly updates every week, thus the name,
Mhm.
weekly updates. This is for everyone. Two updates. Update number one is on the housing situation, which leads to update number two. As some of you know, our release is up at the end of the month, as of this recording, end of July. And we were told that we could end the lease early if we found somewhere else to live due to the myriad of health issues that I was being put through due to the neighbors, existing and new. The new neighbors were a nightmare. My patrons know more in depth because I am very transparent with them about what's going on and how it affects the workflow. Justin can attest to if it could have went wrong, it did go wrong.
Yes.
I've been looking since December for a place. I've been looking intensively since March.
Yes.
And if you have a deadline and it's coming closer and closer and closer, you get more and
Hmm.
more. Yeah, you're like, because I hadn't heard back from our current property managers since April.
I'm insulted if they think that we're too sensitive to take the word no.
So I was under the pretense that we needed to find somewhere else to live by the end of July.
Yes.
Period. And we have done it all. We've talked to people. There's been traveling. There has been.
Immense traveling.
I've been told no. I have been hung up on. I have been stood up. We've been ghosted. It has happened. Some of you know, as of July, as of freaking 2022, the housing market is a nightmare. So it's not easy for people, like our intent was to get a house, but then it turned into the intent was to like rent anything that felt like it would be. We wanted to like not be above people or have like any kind of neighbors above or below us or anything like that. And since we sleep during the day, we wanted quiet. There was a lot of like things that we needed for quality of life.
Yes, we didn't want to find a place and then have the exact same issues all over again.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually why we were going through this in the first place.
Yeah. And going through the same things, paying like 1.5 times the rent because our rent here is actually very good. All things considered. In April, I had a panic attack in the kitchen. You were there for it.
Yes.
You helped me get through it. It was bad. It was really like one of the worst ones I've had in my entire life. Because that was right after we had that one place secure,
Hmm.
and we ended up not getting it. And I just like because every day I'd wake up and I would check Facebook, or I would check Craigslist, I would check Zillow, I would check all these sites, and I would obsessively look and refresh, and it started interfering with the workload, and it was a lot to balance. Like you saw me juggling
Yes.
and struggling.
Definitely.
So the fact that Doctor Who and whatnot came out consistently, I worked my butt off to do that, and I'm not looking for any kind of pat on the back or anything. I'm letting you know that it's been really, really, really stressful, and I've said as much in varying degrees, especially on Patreon.
It's a triumph in itself.
And then in June, I had an anxiety attack, and you were there for that too. And so I am usually good at maintaining with everything, with all the pressure and on top of all the other stuff like the pain and everything I go through all the time anyway. This is going somewhere, so thank you for bearing with me. Uh, it's just to let you know like how it was bad. I have not had a panic attack followed by an anxiety attack, and they are different in ever, like never. I've had them before, but not like that and not to that extreme. Especially the panic attack, that was bad. So we get into July this month, and we thought we had a place nearby that would have fit pretty well. It was overpriced like everything is right now, but it was kind of like a standalone thing. We're like, hey, we can make this work. It's fine. It's fine. And then they just elected to not write us back, even though the owner messed up, and it was a whole thing. It's par for the course with what's been going on. And like I said, if it could happen, it did happen. As far as the housing market goes, and our adventures in it, I should have kept a diary. Can you imagine, like going through
Ooh.
all? Yeah, that's how bad it was. I reached out to the landlord who didn't respond, and I reached out to the property manager. If we're not allowed to renew here, like you could feasibly stay with your parents while we found somewhere, but I would have nowhere to go because you have like all those adorable kitties, and I'm unfortunately allergic to adorable kitties. So, the update of the housing situation I've been going through for almost 8 months. That gave me panic attack and anxiety attack and all of it. And we spent way more on application fees and credit check fees, and our credit score took a hit because of all the checks. We spent more than I would ever want to care to admit. All of it, all the money, all the travel, all the stress, the attacks, all of it was to stay here. The property manager eventually got back to me, and we were able to come to an agreement on a lease that benefited everyone. It's more flexible than our current lease. So we will be staying here for the time being. It is not lost on me that it was all for nothing. Yeah. It's just yeah. So that is the very long update number 1 of the housing situation. It's not changing. Fingers crossed that the new tenant that moves in downstairs in the fall, the autumn, is not a nightmare like they are. And knock on wood, everything maintains here. But yeah. So that's update number 1. We're not going anywhere as far as that. That segues into update number 2. We are going somewhere. We're going on vacation because we have freaking earned it. So in August, for 3 weeks, we will be on vacation. But that does not mean the content will stop, because I have patrons that I want to provide for, and I have you, the viewer, that I want to provide for. So now, since the housing situation, knock on wood, things can change. We've been through everything. They could like say, "Oh, the lease is null and void now." Who knows? With my luck, I'm like Mr. Black Cloud. It's a thing. But knock on wood, you can breathe. We need time. I need time to decompress, to de-stress, just relax. I haven't had that in a while, dealing with everything, in addition to everything else I go through. So for 3 weeks in August, we will be on vacation. But here is my crudely drawn map of August that I have renamed Hoggust, Hogust, Hoggust. They named a month after me.
Aw.
But here's my crudely drawn map, including a little bit of blood where I paper cut my finger making this. Don't ask. I took my eye Black Cloud. It's just the curse of everything. There's a nicer version of this on the screen for you now. So while we're on vacation, I wanted to make sure that there was content, both Patreon and YouTube related, while we were away, trying to relax. So over the next 2 weekends, we're going to record bonus videos for season 5. I've had some complaints from people about season 5 saying that I'm milking it because we had Space and Time, we had Meanwhile in the TARDIS, we had Bad Night, Good Night. Those were supposed to be like extra videos in the week. They ended up being the main videos for Doctor Who in the week because I thought July 31st, we need to find somewhere to live, and everything lined up to be at the end of July. So I had to stretch out the content just in case, worst case scenario, I don't have anywhere to live, and you have to go stay with your parents while we figure this out. It was a very real possibility. I'm not even exaggerating. Because I don't have family like that to fall back on. So you can get why it was so stressful. Like I was like, I'm staring down the barrel of almost being homeless again for the second time in my life. So the first time was before we met. That's a whole story in the What's Wrong With Me series. I had this really cool idea. I think it's cool. 3 bonus videos for Doctor Who for the first 3 weeks in August. They will be early access for patrons on the usual day, Saturday. And the first one will be like in here in July on Saturday. So we're going to film those as soon as we can with what time we have left in July. And I'm going to edit those with what time we have left in July to have them up and ready to go. And I'll have them scheduled, and I can do stuff remotely and all that stuff. In addition, there will be another bonus video that I've had kind of in the chamber for a while. If you like watching streams and stuff, I did a best of compilation of when I played Borderlands 1 with my favorite character. And it's in 3 parts. Ironically, I didn't plan it like that. It's just in 3 parts. So that will be on the Friday. So Monday, Friday of every week, there will be something on YouTube for you while we're away on vacation. And then on Tuesday, Saturday, there will be early access for the patrons while we're away on vacation. But patrons, specifically out there, mark your calendars. On August 17th, you will finally crack open Season 6. 6.1 full reaction will be on Wednesday, August 17th. If you didn't know, it's always Wednesday for full reactions. With early access for 6.1 on Saturday, which is usual as well. Wednesday, Saturday for Doctor Who. Then from then on, we're back to the regular schedule. The last 2 weeks in August are to be announced. Like whatever extra videos I have to do or present to everyone. We have a plethora of movies and TV shows and stuff in the chamber. It's just finding the time. And lately, I haven't had the time because I've been so focused on
The housing thing.
Yeah, it's been that bad. So those are the 2 updates. How's the situation? Knock on wood is what it is right now. It's just got to kind of roll with it and not think about the stupid amount of money that we spent trying to find somewhere to live and how close we came a handful of times to places that looked really ideal. And just from gas to all of it, just I don't think we expected it to be that this kind of journey, the journey to turn out the way it did. And when we return from vacation, things will be back to normal, quote unquote normal. Whatever normal is for us. And hopefully no more crap from anyone, I hope. But we'll see what happens. But I wanted to wait because I was going to do an update video in general, no matter what was going on, to let everybody know what was going on. But I wanted to wait until I knew what was going on. And we just found out a couple of days ago what was going on. So now I'm letting you know. If I forgot anything, I'll add it in post in text form. Oh yeah. Also, it's summer and it sucks. Haven't bitched about that yet. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add about the situation or?
No, except that we'll go through this together.
Yes, we have.
We have, and we always will.
Yeah, it was nice to have you, especially on those attacks. They were not pretty. It's not something I look back on fondly or with pride.
Many people go through that at least once in their lives.
Yeah, like it got to the point where in July, in this month, I had to go back on my anxiety meds. I haven't had to take them in years because I can usually maintain, even with the stress of my condition and real life and the neighbors being, neighborly and, YouTube and editing and all of it. I can usually juggle pretty well. I think I'm pretty good at multitasking. Mm-hmm. But this that's how intense it was for us and for me. I had to go back on my meds for the first time in like over 2 years. So.
And we're both usually very patient people.
Yeah.
It takes much to crack us.
Yes. Yeah. Like there was a couple times where even you were kind of fuming at the situation in your way, like how you emote that. Like you were not happy.
Yes.
And if it pushes Justin to an edge, then I'm probably like Roadrunner way ahead. So just knock on wood, things even out for us. And that the vacation is restful and relaxing and all that. And I just want to make sure that there was still content for you, both publicly and for the patrons. I've said before that, the patrons on Patreon spend their hard-earned money to support the content and the work and all that. And I don't take that lightly. I never have. And I never will. So even going on vacation, I'm still going to make sure that there's content for you. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you get a kick out of it. But yeah, I think that's it for the update.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to wrap this one up. As always, I don't have a fancy outro. So I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.